Okay, a lot of people want to know about the logistical side of adventuring. Maybe not a lot of readers, but it is an interesting topic. For that, we can try to reason out ourselves how to do that, or we can look at historic examples of adventurers and take cues from them, or both. If the Vikings had lambus bread, they would have used it. For this, I'm looking at adventuring not in terms of goals, but of means. There are small groups that make camp and can go days, weeks, or months without outside support. There are those who did this, but most people probably didn't want to do this if they could help it. I'm also not going to present everything to know about these topics, just giving a line of inquiry for those who are curious. But yeah, the Vikings are a good example of historic adventurers. While I don't know much about their logistics, their longships made their trips easier. Uh, they could cross the sea or travel up rivers. They they didn't need a pack horse since their ship would carry their gear and supplies for most of the trip. But yeah, it would be helpful to learn about them if you want more of a nautical adventure. As for as for land, look no further than the United States. Ah well. A lot of American pioneers, explorers, long hunters, and cowboys spent long periods away from settlements. Some, like Lewis and Clark, spent years on their adventure. They absolutely hunted during that time, as most of them probably did. Long hunters were specifically there to hunt game. But learning about how these groups operated can help fuel a fantasy adventure as well. Not necessarily in terms of gear, muskets, but their solutions to problems can help fuel ours. Could have designated cooks. Most of what I know about American adventurers, though, come ah. Most of what I know about American adventurers comes from the Townsend's channel on YouTube. They don't talk about the Wild West, but there are plenty of explorers and hunters who predated that. Next, we have European explorers from the Age of Discovery and onwards. I don't know much about them, especially compared to other topics, but they went adventuring. If there's one you think is interesting, you can look them up. There were other explorers throughout history on other continents, but I think European ones have the best chance of relevant information being in English. If you know Chinese, then you have access to information about explorers I don't have. Next, we have the Scottish drovers. These were pretty much Scottish cowboys, herding cattle from one place to another. Fandabidozi on YouTube has a lot of videos discussing how these Highlanders make their trips, including wearing. They wore kilts. Historic kilts are immensely practical garments, large enough to be used as a sleeping bag or a tent as the need arises. I even had my ranger in the Dragon Slayer's son use one. Ah. The last kind of adventure I'll bring up are nomadic cultures. They aren't exactly adventuring parties, but it can give inspiration. From Mongols to Romani to the American Indians of the Great Plains, These were groups who had the ability to pack up their whole life and move as need be. Now, I don't know what kind of information we have on the Romani, but we do have decent records of various American and Mongol nomads. Mongols in particular, we have a good idea of how they lived since a European monk went and recorded how they lived and fought so Europe could defeat them. That didn't pan out the way he hoped. But we also know about their lifestyle since a lot of Mongolians today who still live as nomads. Really. There's probably plenty of differences, but it's enough to get a, what remains is enough to get a good idea. They still milk horses. Yeah. Anyway, those are the groups I'd say are historic examples of adventuring. Feel free to disagree or post your examples in the comments. If you can provide places to learn about those examples, then that's all the better. As for me, that's it. Unless you want to talk cold weather cultures, then